Let's go.
Hopefully we can go. I just heard noises.
Oh no, we got cat activity again tonight.
Always.
We still have a bot that doesn't notify when I go live in my own Discord. We're gonna have to have a word with this bot. Tired of posting my own stuff in there. What's up, Lloyd? Lloyd and Ducey, thank you guys for being here early. Hey, what's up, Zooted? How's it going? Good to see you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
How are you guys? Can you guys hear Amy okay? Just want to make sure before we start, because sometimes her level is off. Hope you are both well. Thanks. Ducey is live now. I see what he's got going on. Hope you are both well. Thanks, Lloyd. Really appreciate it, man. All right. If you are... Hang on one second here. If you are new to seeing this done, there's a little brief, little bit of guideline. We don't like directly interact with chat like we do normally when we're playing games, because we do record it. So it's recorded, sent out to the podcast, all the podcast platforms that are out there. So we like to have just one straightforward, clean set of audio. What's up, Cactus? Good to see you tonight. So anyway, we will go through this, and you guys are welcome to hang out and chat. Usually chat has its own thing going on. You guys are kind of talking about your own takes on some of what we're discussing and whatnot. But anyway, we will get to this. I appreciate you guys being here. Australia,
thank you guys.
Australia and Oklahoma representing strong, as always.
Hey, we'll take it. Thank you guys for being here so much.
The true heroes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. The good day, mate. What's up, Average Lenny? That is awesome. Over the hump. Let's go. What's up, Cinnamon? Am I supposed to say Aussie, Aussie, Aussie and see what happens? I don't know. I heard that's a thing somewhere.
I heard something about that. I heard that was a thing.
Can one of you guys just confirm if you can hear Amy just fine? I just want to make sure before I hit record. If somebody can just say, yeah, I can hear her, or man, she's very low.
I'm usually pretty quiet.
Yeah, I can hear. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right, what we're going to do, let me throw this out there again, just so you guys know. So we're going to hit record here in just a second. Why does it have the monkey face? Oh, because that's the new love emote. That's why I see that all the time.
Oh,
I thought it was a little monkey. It's actually the heart. Doesn't it look like a monkey?
Cute. It is a monkey, isn't it?
Is it? Aussie should be announced Aussie. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Is that better? It's a crazy train. All right. Here we go. We are going to hit live here in just a second, so we'll begin the podcast, and then we'll get back to you guys right after the show and hang out for a few minutes. So anyway, here we go.
Thanks, guys, for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number 9 already. Holy smokes. The 9th episode of Over the Hump. We made it to 9.
You guys are amazing. Yeah. Listen to us for 9 weeks.
I didn't think we'd make it to 2, and now we're at 9.
No, I agree.
If we make it to 10, it's an overwhelming success. That's all I got to say.
That's all.
Welcome to the Over the Hump podcast, designed to get you over the hump. Whether it's over the hump through the middle of the week, we record this on Wednesdays, get you from the beginning of the week to the end of the week, rolling right into your weekend. Maybe you're wrapping up some midterms or some exams at school, and you just got to get over the hump into the holidays, or maybe you're just looking to get over the hump into the holidays. Anyway, we hope that you'd like to take a little bit of time out from your busy schedule and listen to us ramble for about an hour or so about some miscellaneous things that are going on in life to hopefully take your mind off of the stress that's out there today. And with us, as always, is the beautiful, lovely, charming, all-knowing, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent Amy Beth. Good evening, Amy.
Wow. Good evening. That was quite an intro. I don't know how to respond to all that.
I try to expound
I'm flattered.
Was that Cora or Amy right there? Who was that?
You'll never know.
You'll never know. If for anybody who just said, who is Cora, there's a Dungeons and Dragons session that happens on every Saturday. As a matter of fact, this Saturday over in the Boom Kings channel, where you may or may not get to see Cora shoot her friends in the back. Anyway, welcome to the podcast this week. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you listening. As always, the first thing that we do, we got to discuss what's in the glass. And so somehow we went from Wine Wednesday to Whiskey Wednesday, and now I think we're just I don't know a W to say what we're drinking tonight. But anyway, what's in the glass tonight for you, Amy?
I am enjoying a vodka martini with some fabulous Kettle One, a little bit of dry vermouth, and a blue cheese stuffed olive tonight.
Blue cheese stuffed olive, the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
the
it's a little different for me tonight.
Nice.
Cheers, yes.
Yeah, and I am back to the Green Fairy tonight, sipping a little absinthe.
Dancing with the Green Fairy again
Dancing with
tonight.
the Green Fairy. I love it. It's low key. I don't, for some reason, I enjoy it, but I don't pound it. So it's a great to sip, and I don't know. It's
a good sipping liqueur.
It's become a thing for Wednesday nights. So anyway, what we'd like to do is give a little toast to our shout outs of the week. It's always a very, very difficult situation. We've got so many people that are supportive of the podcast, of the channel, of us in general. So once again, it was a long discussion to figure out who we're going to shout out, because there are a lot of people who are very deserving of a shout out.
Yes, very much so.
But we do have two in mind that we want to throw out there tonight. So as always, I will give you the honors of going first.
So I can raise a glass tonight to the lovely Oko Tororo, who Tororo. I knew I was going to mess her name up because I know we just say Tororo usually.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's in Guam, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
And I know she can't always make the live broadcast, but she's been wonderful giving us questions, and she's just a lovely member of the community. So just wanted to say cheers to her.
I agree. It's a great shout out. Tororo, she's very busy. She's a parent. So we all know what that's like with the little ones running around, even if we have cats running around. But she's always supportive of the whole community in more ways than one. And we appreciate it. Yeah, it's great. I also commend that. Thank you, Tororo. I want to recognize someone newer to the scene, but is super supportive. And it's become really funny for me on streaming nights. There's not a lot of people who are streaming when I end my stream. That's usually down to just a couple people, so it's nice to have somebody else. He lives out in Hawaii. He's actually streaming right now, but he's got a wonderful stream, and he's been so supportive so quickly. I think I only really started talking to the guy maybe a week ago, and I've noticed him in all of the community streams, and he's just a really great guy. And if you haven't checked out his channel, definitely do so. But it's Deucey Fruit. So not Juicy Fruit, Deucey Fruit. And he is a cat guy. He is a talking cat that sits in a chair.
You would appreciate my situation right now.
If you're listening and can't watch, Amy's cat has been just waltzing in front of the camera the whole time. But I want to send out a shout out to Deucey. He was here. He actually stopped in just a few minutes ago to say hello because he was starting his stream. So he was so kind to stop in. Anyway, cheers to both Toraru and Deucey. We appreciate you guys.
Toraru and my cat wants to drink. You can't drink this.
That might be the key.
Mm-mm.
No, don't give him drinks.
No, the last thing this crazy animal needs is a drink. He's going to settle down. I have the water sprayer in case I need
to pollen to get him off.
I just need to point it at him and he runs away. So
it's awesome. Anyway,
I try not to do that. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, if you would like to support the show, just let us know. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on our Gmail account, overthehumpshow.com. We're Over the Hump Show on Twitter. Or the best ways to come into the Discord. We have a special channel in my Discord, Scotia262, that is dedicated to Over the Hump. Come in, fire off questions. Even if you don't have questions for us, if there's a topic that you would like to see discussed or something, hey, I would like to get your take on it, or I'm having problems with this, we would love to just sit and talk about it, because a lot of times we're all in the same boat here, especially over the course of this awesome 2020. Anyway, the first thing we do each week anyway is discuss our wins and losses. I think it's a great idea to always take a second and look back at your week, recognize your dubs, recognize your L's. Is there something you could do different, something you can improve upon, or do you just take an L and laugh it off and move on? I think you've got to do that. Don't let things pile up. Get it off your chest. So in the production meetings, we have quite a few this week that we want to discuss. We went from one each to now we have multiple each, and I think
that's good. It's a good thing.
It is a good thing, and I think it spawns the most discussion too. Some of our little situations are kind of funny. So you always do the coin flip. You always determine each week: are we doing W's? Are we doing L's? And who's going first? So no pressure, but the pressure's on you to decide.
I'll start with my W's.
Starting W's this week. Okay, what were your W's?
Yeah, start with the W's because I think the L's are kind of funny. The L's aren't too harsh this week. So the first W I feel like I had was the book. I know we talked about books.
Yes.
And we started our little book club of 2, I think, unless case anybody joined us. I don't know. And the book was phenomenal, but I finished it and which doesn't sound like a huge accomplishment, except I just had a really hard time reading since the pandemic started, just allowing my brain to focus on a book. So I think I started 3 books up to this book and didn't finish them and just had trouble getting through it. So anyway, I was just very proud of myself that I finished a novel, which is 400 pages, I think.
Yeah, it was up there, yeah.
But it went really fast. It was really well written, and it just kind of spurred me on, and now I'm just anxious to read more. And I'd like to try to read a couple of books a month, and hopefully this will just get me back into the habit because I love reading. I think I just had trouble focusing. I think it was nerves and anxiety and stress and all that. But I found that it was a really lovely diversion. It was something different to do.
Agree.
So I thought that was a huge W.
Massive W. I absolutely agree.
And it was so good.
It was super good. Very super good. And it's also, I'm not going to steal the rest of your W's, but only because it was also one of my W's of the week was making it through that book. And like you said, it was 400 pages. I'm not a fast reader, but the book is a fast read. And it is literally a page turner, man. You just want to know what happens right from the get go.
Agreed.
And for me to finish a book in a couple days is something incredible. And
it was super well written too. Like
it really was.
I found it to be really beautiful writing on top of it. It's not high art or impossible to get through, but I just thought it was the descriptions. Imagery was incredible. So anyway, it was lovely, and I'm looking forward to the next books we're going to read.
Yeah,
and
me
we
too.
picked 2 new books. So
and it had a couple twists to it that you kind of don't see coming, which I liked. I enjoyed.
There was a twist that happened that made me stop, and I could feel my heart like pounding because I wasn't expecting it, and I went back a few pages and reread it, and I don't often do that in books. And I was like, did I just read what I think I just read? Did I misunderstand? And I reread. The chapters are kind of small. They move very quickly.
Yep.
And I went back and I reread the entire little chapter, and my heart was just pounding as I got to that point again to make sure I wasn't hallucinating what I read. And you said it was one of the parts that you kind of expected. For some reason, I just didn't expect it. And it was really cool. I mean, it's cool when a book does that to you where you're like, gasping almost like when you watch a movie and something happens and you're like, pause, I need to breathe.
Yes.
I had to pause the book and breathe for a second.
Yep.
So anyway,
that's
wonderful.
great. Yeah. So a couple W. Okay. Continue on with your W's. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and I started, I feel like one thing leads to another in life. So if you start one good habit, which reading is a new habit, or just returning to an old habit, that is a good habit, which is what I'm doing with my workout routine. I started a new workout routine. So I'm doing a combination of running and lifting along with my Pilates practice, which I always do. So I am very pleased with myself because I've actually followed it along this week. I know it's only 1 week, but you just got to keep at it. So that's another W. Anytime we restart a good habit, that's a good thing.
It is. And it's the first week is the most critical because as soon as it's very easy in the first week to say, "Oh, I'll put that off until just the next day."
I'll do it after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, or I've got this stuff coming up. No, so I commend you on that. That's awesome to get that started. And I personally know how dedicated you've been to it, and I take my hat off to you. Not literally, because it'll mess up my headphones, but
Okay. Yeah. No, don't do that.
Figuratively,
But yeah,
figuratively,
thank you.
literally, metaphorically.
And I think I just have one more that I want to share with
Yes.
dubbing. Yeah. So
The trip dub. Sorry.
yeah, the trip dub. Yeah, I am going to see both of my well, one for sure, and probably the other one within the next week. So that's good. Both my kids. I don't know if I made that clear.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. One will be here with me for a while. And then the other one might just be making a quick trip in and out. Probably not supposed to, but hopefully safely in and
Nice.
out so I can see her. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, it
So,
is. It is that time of year. It is Thanksgiving next week, so
yeah.
it's great to
So
have them around. Awesome. That's
it will
great.
be. Yep. That's my other dub.
Fantastic. Awesome. What a great set of dubs.
I know. I'm proud of myself. I'm happy.
So I'll flip
And
over
you.
my dub. So obviously the book. I'm not going to rehash that. We kind of went into that, but it was definitely, and like you said, we immediately, our conversation between ourselves was immediately, what's the next one? So we have a couple more books picked out. It's not too late. If anyone out there does want to say, who does want to join along in reading the books, I'll still post them in the Discord, even if you get behind or whatever, and you just want to talk about it, it'd be fun. If not, it's all good. We're not going to stop.
Yeah. We've had a book club for many years. It's just kind of gone by the wayside for a while. So we're okay
right.
with just being the two of us.
Yes,
It's fine.
You get to hear about it. You'll hear us gab about it on the podcast. So anyway,
Just ignore
back
it.
to the
Ignore
dubs.
it.
I've got 3 dubs as well. So the second W for me kind of rolls over to the Twitch side of things, and it was Saturday night. I got to play a game called Hunt Showdown, which I've only played a couple times, but it was just one of those nights that was a ton of fun, and I got to play with Cinemonster, who I hadn't played with in a while, and also Frost Saboon, who I hadn't played with in a while either. And Frost is a legend at the game. He's extremely
It's
experienced.
a hard game, right?
It's super tough. It's one of those ones when
From what I know
you
about it.
die, you lose all of your stuff. It's not easy to navigate through. There's a lot going on. And it was just great. There was a great back and forth between the 3 of us. Frost was so kind to really kind of teach us more things about the game. And it was just a really positive experience. I had a lot of fun. So that was a W, the fact that we fired that game up and got involved
That's
with it.
awesome.
So I think those
Sounds
guys.
fun.
Sounds kind of silly. Oh, I played a game with friends, but there's different experiences. And it was just a really good one.
Oh yeah. No, it's not silly at all. I think anytime you get to experience a new game or a new experience, whatever it is, with friends and have fun and kind of forget what's going on in the world, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
And
that is a total W.
Maybe it was because we were winning so much, but anyway.
Yeah.
The third one also goes back to Twitch because it's basically what I do when I'm not working. The Twitch selected 50% of its streamer base, of its affiliates and partners, and rolled out a new platform, or I guess a new channel point system called prediction polls. And what it does is it allows the audience to gamble their channel points on an outcome that you determine. So we did this on 2 nights with Tarkov and had a blast. Picked up a little bit of steam last night. I think chat has a great time gambling the points. And all we were doing is, do we survive in Tarkov and get out or not? So it was a simple yes or no. And there was great conversation back and forth between chat of, he's not going to make it. He is going to make it. Oh, I just donated my points to you. We had people that we've zooted. I think of like the 9 times we've done it, he's been right 8 times. I mean, the guy not only is a legend gaming, but he's a prognosticator as well. But anyway, it went well, and I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it to get to the other 50% because I know there's members of our community that don't have it yet, and I think it's
Absolutely.
It's
fun.
really great addition to Twitch.
Yeah, I
So-
need it. I need people to have it so I can do it since I'm not allowed to do it. on the channel.
Mods can't do it. That's the only drawback. But maybe
Can they
they'll
do
allow
it like during they could just kind of guess what we're going to say or something. Can they do that on here?
Yeah, you could do it that way. We tried to break the system as well. I'm a mod over in Zooted, and so he unmodded me. I gambled, and he modded me again, and we tried to scam
No,
the
but I
system,
just mean
and it's
like
a lot,
during the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Can they like guess what we're going to say or something?
They
Or
could also do it here. Yeah, 100%. We could
in the
make that
future
happen.
we
Yes.
can just incorporate it.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right.
I was just curious.
Switching over to the L's. I guess I'll go first, and I'll let you finish. So
Yeah, you go first.
my first L, I actually have 3 L's of the week. 3-3. Right back at you. I dropped my cell phone. And so anybody who knows me knows that I never, ever, ever,
Ever.
ever have any sort of anything, no protection on the cell phone at all. I don't like it. I don't believe in it. I don't need it. Well, almost don't need it. So for the second, I should say mobile phone, not cell phone. Really makes me sound old. Mobile phone, I think I've only dropped twice in the history of having mobile phones. I remember it happening one other time. And this one was I knew it. I had set it on the edge of the couch, and I knew I was going to bump it, and I mentally said, you've got to set it up on the desk or you're going to knock it over. Anyway, I knocked it over. And luckily it has just a small chip in the upper corner. It hasn't really affected the screen, but I dropped my cell phone, or my mobile device. How's that?
Your mobile device. You know, I have only cracked my cell phone twice. No. Yes. The first time was
Lake Powell.
on a trip. Yeah.
I happen to know about that one.
I think because I was freaking out about the heights so much. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, you might know a thing or two about that time. The second time was this summer. Was it this summer? I think it was this summer. Anyway, I dropped it from a very high point. So I just got a new phone pretty recently. And I had it in my purse. I had this cute little purse. I'm kind of overtaking your...
Oh, no, this is good. It's a conversation.
So it's this cute little purse. And I got out of my car, and the purse kind of flipped in a funny way, and I didn't zip the top of it. And the phone literally did a somersault out. And not only did it fall, but I kicked it too because I didn't know it had fallen. So I kind of punted my cell phone across the parking lot, and I was like, oh my. Now, it does have a small protective case on it.
Right.
It's not fancy. It's just like a little So I was very sad because I thought, oh gosh, my phone. And I just bought it.
No.
And I pick it up and the whole screen looked cracked, and I was so sad. And I just put it back in my purse. I was all dejected, and I went in to the store, got my stuff, came back out, sat in my car, still dejected, look at my phone, and then realized there was a factory installed screen protector on it.
Nice.
And it peeled it off, and my phone was perfect.
Nice. Anyway, oh, yeah.
So cheers to the factory installed screen protector. Thank you, Samsung. Okay, anyway, that was my story. Because that was a L that became a dub.
Nice.
And nobody cares at all whatsoever. It was a bad story. Sorry.
No, it was fantastic. I just enjoy the punt. I wish that somehow would have
punted it. No, it literally flipped, and then my foot kicked it, and
nice.
Bad.
Mine was way less dramatic. I mean, it literally it fell 3 feet, 2 feet, but just right on the corner, dunk, and fell flat. And I knew it. I'm like, oh man. And then I looked at.
I highly recommend the factory installed screen protector. I didn't know they did that.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, but luckily I don't have to buy a new one or anything yet, so I'll just look. But it irritates me just seeing any kind of marring on the upper corner. Anyway, my other ones are just kind of funny, silly stuff. So the second L of the week also happened on Saturday night ironically after the W of playing with Hunt Showdown with Frost and Cinnamon. Duo Katsuragi and we both have the game Legends of Tsushima. If anybody knows me, they know how much I love the game. Duo loves the game as well. They have a co-op mode that they came out with 3-ish weeks ago. And Duo was like, hey, we got to get together and play co-op. I'm like, yes, it's called Legend Mode. Says, yeah, let's do it. So it was the right time, Saturday night. He had booted it up. I was still up. Like, yeah, let's play some Legends. And Duo streams late at night because he works late, and so he streams very, very early in the morning and late at night. So I'm like, yeah, we have a good couple hours. We can play Tsushima before I need to go to sleep. So and neither of us had touched it yet because in the game you have a map, and when you run around the map, there's a little guy there now that is a legend storyteller. So our assumption was you go to this guy, you press a button, it says, oh, blah, 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 and you team up with your friend and you go off on some kind of quest. Well,
sounds lovely.
It was right after Hunt Showdown, so I'd messaged Duo and I said, hey, I'm almost finished with the last game, just giving you a heads up. He said, oh, I just started legend mode. Looks like there's a small tutorial. I'll just finish that up. I'm like, great, it'll work out. So yeah, the small tutorial is not a small tutorial at all. The tutorial actually ended up taking somewhere around 40 minutes to complete. And it wasn't even learning new stuff. All it was, oh, if you're this character, press the square button to attack. Press the triangle button. It was like
101.
We already knew how to do it because we'd played the game.
We played the game.
So it just became this hilarious, like, how much longer is the tutorial going to go? He's streaming it on his channel. We're just trying to get through this tutorial. I'm like 15 minutes behind him. We finally wrap up the tutorial.
It's like 4 in the morning.
It is literally 4 in the morning. And we're like, okay, we're done. Awesome. Let's get in. Let's select like the easiest mode. And the easiest mode is just like a battle mode. You have a little... you have a place, like a little city set up, and there's 3 points, and it's waves of enemies coming at you, and you team up and you attack them. Let's just do that and just kind of get into it tonight and have some fun. We go into the mode, and it starts up, and on the screen it says wave 1 of 15. So we're like, what? So yeah,
oh no!
45 minutes later, we finished one of those battles. So an hour and a half into the game, and it was just
like,
funny.
We haven't.
You can, I mean, say it wasn't like an LL, but it was like, man, we just wanted to go in and play some stuff. And I wish if the makers of Tsushima ever hear this, or if you're a game dev and you want to know, have an option to escape out of the tutorial. There was no way to quit the tutorial. If we would have quit the tutorial, we'd have been fine. But you should be able to say, I know how to play the game. Give me the TLDR and let me press a button and go into it. So
that makes sense. Right?
Anyway, and then my final L of the week. I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. My final L of the week. So there's a member of the community called the Cactus Bunch who a couple weeks ago had a fantastic stream where he went through his vinyl record collection.
Oh my gosh, that was an amazing stream.
If you haven't seen it,
I enjoyed that so much.
Oh, it was amazing. And Cactus was so good about here's where I got this one, or here's this band and why I like them. Or
yeah, as a music lover, it was just really fun to hear. It was absolutely fantastic. If the VOD's still up, absolutely go watch. Worth watching.
Oh, and 100%. And I hope he does it again in some way, shape, or form with anything with music related because it was so entertaining. Anyway, yeah. It reminded me. I'm like, man, I need to get back to some more vinyl. My vinyl collection's fairly small right now. Everything was on CDs and everything once the vinyl era kind of ended the first time around. But it reminded me, I'm like, yeah, I want to go out and do some vinyl shopping. And I thought that would be a good way to get out of the house on a Saturday and just kind of, go, because the places that I'd been to here that I had went to with my father when he visited, he likes antiques. So we would go to a couple antique stores. And there was one antique mall that we went into that had multiple vinyl dealers. And they had one of the guys that I remembered specifically, I bought one while I was there, but he had all music that I liked. It was all rock, metal, some other stuff. Like, great, I'm going to go down there. Probably won't be a lot of people in there. Social distance, can get out of the house for a minute, and I'll just thumb through some vinyl records for a while.
Yeah. Oh, that's so much just one of my favorite little hobbies.
Yeah, so Saturday I set out to do it. I'd even mentioned it in stream, like, man, Cactus was in stream one night. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. Saturday I'm going to go. So it was a Saturday. We didn't have D&D. I'm like, let me go out and head down to the antique mall and do the vinyl record shop. Well, now last time I was there was almost a year ago when I went with my father to the antique store. I pulled up on it. I went to Google Maps. It still existed. It's on the map. I'm like, yeah, just a refresher. Oh, that's right. Here's where it is. It's not too far from my house. Let's go. So I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm like, yeah, I got out of the house. I'm going to go get some vinyl. Running through the back of my mind, man.
Like, brush your teeth,
I'll
put your hat on.
Yeah. Wore pants. I mean, what's going on? And I'm in the back. I'm like,
good to know.
Oh, maybe I could find like an old Tool album. I mean, I'm just going through my mind about what kind of things I want to listen to. And then you turn a corner and you take a left, and then it's on the street on the right. And I take the left, and I look.
I'm getting.
And there's just a big red sign on it now that says for lease.
Oh, no.
So there's no one in the parking lot. I pulled into the parking lot. I'm like, is this the place? And it 100% was the place. The place is gone. It's gone. and it was a
Another
buzzkill.
victim of the pandemic. That's so sad.
Yeah,
That's so sad.
and I don't know. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was gone before the pandemic, but I do think it probably was a victim of the
It is
pandemic.
hard to run those places. I did have a little space once in my time. Not I wasn't selling vinyl, but I did have a little tiny space
Well,
where I sold antiques. But it's hard to maintain. It's hard to get in, and I know you know this from your father, but it
Well,
is really hard
here's
to.
the funny thing with it. Yes, my father does have a booth at an antique mall back where he lives, and he like runs the building for a couple of days a week. Or we've talked throughout the year. Their business is up 18% over last year. They are
Wow.
gangbusters, and they had closed down for 3 weeks. And that's the only time they closed down for 3 weeks, and they reopened,
Wow.
and they're still up as a total 18%. So in the back of my mind, it was never even considered that it would be gone. But
Yeah.
it
Well, because
was
I
the
think,
funny thing
yeah,
is
that's
though,
funny.
yeah, when I went there and I verified, I'm like, well, daggone it. And so I was like, there is one more kind of on down a little bit. Maybe I'll check it out. And it also looked closed. So I think that area has just been devastated and just didn't
Well, they were
survive. So
hurt. Was that where, not hurricane, wasn't there a bad tornado? Was that in that same vicinity? Did
it
it get damaged or something?
it wasn't the tornado
Okay.
damaged kind of East Nashville. This was more in
Hmm.
an area called 12 South that is kind of thrives other. It's got a kind of a popular little area, and then
Maybe it's just
a
not the
street away.
demographic for it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was a bummer. And then I was like, oh wait, there was a label on the record that I did buy. Maybe it's still on there, and I can contact the guy. And luckily, there is. So I was able to. I've emailed the guy to see if he's still in
Oh,
business or
nice.
whatever. Yes.
Cool. So maybe there's a happy ending. So there
Yeah.
might be a
So
W
we'll
out of
see.
it after all.
But anyway,
You know what
long-winded
though?
L's.
No, you know what though? I feel like that L led me to a thought because I know you have some vinyl. I have actually a very rather large vinyl collection. That would be a good podcast, not to steal, but we're going to steal your idea, Cactus. So that might actually be a really cool to just bring out. I have some pretty vintage, I'm
Yeah.
pretty vintage. I'm vintage. So I have some pretty vintage vinyl from vinyl that I owned as a child and that I inherited from my uncle and my grandmother and such. So it would be kind of cool, not to necessarily go through everything, but to maybe pick
To highlight some, yeah.
a handful, highlight a few really interesting vinyl records that I still play on my record player when I'm
Yeah,
having my whiskey in my living room.
I had completely yeeted mine because not all of them. I did keep some that were special to me, and I still have those. But there are other ones I'm like, I'm never going to listen to a vinyl album again. We have CDs now. Now I'm going to
Yeah.
mute for a second.
For some reason, I never got rid of my vinyl, and I've got a pretty massive collection of it. It's pretty large.
Well, I did get rid of a lot,
Some of it's in storage,
but I didn't. I don't think there's anything that I got rid of that I would probably even say, oh, that would be one I would love to have back. I think it was just a lot of common stuff. There was other ones. There was, Meet the Beatles and stuff like that my parents had
the
had.
cat
that
is
I
trying to
kept.
drink my. Sorry.
We
He's
now
trying to
have a
drink my
martini cat on stream. It is awesome. Anyway, that wraps up my L's. So now we can get to the rest of your L's, unless Jefferson wants to discuss his L's for the week.
His L's are not being able to drink my martini, apparently. No, go sleep. My L's, they're quick because I feel like they're taking up the entire thing. My one of my W's is a minor L. My working out W has led to one of my L's for the week, which is I'm really, really sore. So I
Oh,
can
no.
barely move. Yeah, I'm super sore, but that's okay. And my cat's taking the spotlight as always. And my
He's
other
fine.
my other L is like a kind of a sad local L here, which might everybody might realize the Christmas tree in New York
Oh,
City
yeah.
is like the world's biggest Charlie Brown Christmas tree. It looked really beautiful when they cut it down, and then when they released it to put it in, it's like the saddest 2020. It's just another reference, and he's just gonna
He's fine.
pop himself down.
I
Yeah.
couldn't believe when I saw it. It is out there today. If you haven't seen it, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree was such a beautiful tree when it was standing. And now they've transported it to Rockefeller Center, and it looks like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
It's so bad.
It's just awful.
And I just sprayed my poor cat to get him out of the screen.
Oh no, he just got misted.
He got misted. It's just water. He's fine. Or is it vodka?
We would not miss him with vodka.
No, we would not.
So
It's
yeah,
too
I can. Yeah, the
expensive.
sore. Yeah, anytime you get back into exercise, a sore body, 100%, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
mean,
hard.
it's a soreness though. It's what happens when you're my age and you've kind of slacked off for 8 months or however long the pandemic's gone on, and then you decide you're just gonna go full throttle into doing like HIIT runs and weightlifting and trying to still teach fitness every day, doing all the things I normally do. Yeah, it's my body going, you're not 40, you're not 30 or 20.
But it's a good
You're
thing though. It's a good sore. It's because you did something that you're supposed to be doing, and you should be
It's
proud
a
of
kind of a bad sore. It's
kind of
pretty
bad.
bad. It's definitely not a good sore right now.
Yeah,
So
that and
that's okay.
then yeah, like you
No,
said, the
I know that
Christmas
I
tree.
did something for sure.
Oh no, that's
So
great.
back as well.
So that
Okay.
and the Christmas tree. Does that wrap up your L's for the week?
It does. I feel like we could just wrap up the podcast now.
Yeah,
Cheers,
that's
everybody.
it. Thanks. Yeah, think about yours. Discuss them in chat. We'll see you next time. So the next thing we'd like to talk about a topic each week or answer questions that we've been asked in our channel over in Discord. And this week we did have a great member of the community, Frost Saboon, who asked us a few questions. And these we're gonna get deep here for a second, and then we're gonna yeet out of the deep waters and talk about Thanksgiving a little bit. This. If you don't know already, next week is Thanksgiving in the States. We will not have the podcast next Wednesday night. We will resume after Thanksgiving. But we will end this on a bright note. But we do want to talk about some of these questions that he asked because they're really good questions to talk about sometimes. And some of them touch a little bit on some things we've talked about in the past. But I think it's good to always talk about them because a lot of us are going through some things. So Frost asked a handful of questions, and we'll just kind of go down in order here. Frost's first question. Total switch from Rockefeller Christmas Tree. His first question was, are you living a meaningful life? Which,
Whew.
yeah, showstopper. Think about that one for a second. Are you living a meaningful life? So,
Still trying to get my martini.
while you sort out the martini and shoot the cat with water, I'll kind of go through my initial reaction to that question and how I would answer it. So, am I living a meaningful life? One of the things that immediately came to mind is kind of what do you do, or what are you doing, or what am I doing that has some sort of positive influence on a community, on other people, and I think that kind of provides meaning. I think there's easy ones of saying I'm a parent and I have a successful daughter, et cetera, et cetera. But just looking at personal stuff, I did when I left my previous job. I worked for an IT for a company that largely did prepaid gift cards. So we just transaction processed, and like if you went to Walmart and you bought an iTunes card, that we did all of that. It went through all of our servers. We did the front end, we did the back end. Profitable business for the person who started it. It was fun while I was there, but when it was time to move on, one of the first things I did is said, I want to try to make a difference with the next job that I do. And I think you were involved when I was going through that phase and trying to find some stuff. I was like, man, is there a charitable organization that I can do IT for and kind of line up? But you've got to make quick decisions because it's a job and you need income. So I'm lucky in the job that I have now. I'm in the hospitality industry, which you kind of say, well, that's not, you're not curing cancer. But it gives me more pride, or I don't know if pride's the right word. It makes me feel good to know that if I solve a problem or develop some sort of IT platform, that it's actually impacting people who are on vacation or a business traveler that is in a way at a convention or a conference or trying to get away for a little while. So I feel like, yeah, am I living a meaningful? Yeah, right now I feel like I have meaning because the job that I do every single day is having a positive impact on people. They just don't know it, which is kind of cool. So it's all that back end stuff, and I kind of, yeah, I feel good about doing that. Like I said, I could have.
That's important. That's important work,
Yeah. So
in my opinion.
yeah, so I feel like that was a good turn for me, and on like a side note from that, when I'm not working, I've kind of picked up Twitch streaming here over the course of the pandemic. And I feel like being an outlet for people and also going into their streams or whatever is providing some meaning. I think we've
Oh, for sure.
developed a community where we talk, and you just come in and you hang out for a little while, whether it's 1 minute, say hello, whether you're just lurking in a stream or you're involved in chat for 4 hours. It's meaningful, and I think, and that's why
Hmm.
I did it. I didn't do it because there's other people who want to make it a job. If it became a job, I wouldn't complain, but it wasn't the goal. The goal was let's talk to people and let's see who's out there and try to provide a cool place to come out, hang out for a while. And I think I've done that. So that's my long-winded answer to, am I living a meaningful life and just taking it as what I'm doing right now? And so I would answer the question, yeah, I think I'm having a positive impact.
For sure you are. Absolutely. And uh you're a good boss and you take good care of your team. So I think it's all good. That's part of it as well.
Yeah, there is that, and I had another person today. I get that repeatedly from almost everyone who's ever worked for me, that they've really enjoyed working for me. I try to, your health and your family comes first, and then your job, and I try to always keep that in mind and give people the respect and give people the ability to show that they can do the job and not micromanage and, oh, you're 1 minute late today, what the hell are you doing? Come on, things happen, understand that, and firm but fair. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, what how would you answer? You're living a meaningful life right now to your cat, I can tell you that.
I'm trying to calm him down. He's very jealous of my attention. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah. And he's the new cat. He's only been with me for a month. So we're going to try to calm him down
I
a
got
little.
some head scratches.
Okay. Yeah. Give him some head scratches, see if he settles down. So, yeah, I actually do feel like I'm living a meaningful life. I've always tried. This isn't just, I don't want this to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, but I just think for everybody, when you have the time, and right now you don't always have the time, especially when you're younger, but when you do, if you can find a way to give back to your community in some way, whether it's volunteering at a little local food bank in any small way, it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be financial, to try, if you can, to give back, because it makes you feel really good and it makes your life feel really meaningful. And that is something that I've actually been very fortunate to be able to do and have opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm doing it still now. So to me, that's probably, I think, one of the small things we can do. And it doesn't have to be these big grand gestures, and you don't have to make yourself sound important or anything. So we won't talk about what I do, but I do try to find ways to give back meaningfully. And I do feel that the job I do helps people.
Yes.
And so for me, it's why I left corporate and went into the work I'm doing now, because the pay's definitely not as good, but I'm fortunate enough to be able to still make a living helping people. And, just last night somebody came in, he had hurt his back and he has an ongoing back injury, and it's frustrating, but he was still able to leave feeling better than when he showed up, and thanked me for that, and you checked in with him today. So things like that, whether it's elderly people who maybe this is their only contact they're getting with somebody right now, especially during the pandemic, we were teaching,
Yeah.
or I was teaching virtually. So for some people, they might have been shut in and they could log in and get their workout and get an hour with me. And maybe they didn't work out the whole time. Sometimes they just needed to talk and feel like there was a connection and something was normal for an hour in their life. So to me, that's part of what it's about, being meaningful. It doesn't have to be about making a lot of money or, being a superstar. It just maybe just doing what you can to make other people feel good and help them. So for me, I think, yeah, in that regard, I have.
Yeah.
Would I make changes? Are there things I could do better? Could I be a better person on the daily? Absolutely. But I strive for that every day, even after, half a century plus on the planet. It's always a chance to learn and do better. So that's where,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So that was a great question.
It was a great question. And I think the one little thing that you said there is just, just find a way to help any way you can. When you said that, it reminded me, you don't have to go spend 20 hours at a food bank or whatever if you don't have time. When you had mentioned the tornadoes before. The tornadoes went through Nashville right as the pandemic hit. We got a double whammy at that time, and I do remember wanting. I'm like, I want to help I want to help my new community that I live in now. And all I did, because I didn't, because of the social distancing and whatever, I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to be around people with in no, I don't want to say anything bad about that, but I didn't want the virus. So I said, what can I do?
Right.
And there was a local restaurant that said, hey, if you bring in a case of water, we'll give you a beer. And like, well, wait a minute, I can donate cases of water. So I went and bought 2 cases of water, and I went over and I dropped off the cases of water. I didn't even want the beer. I'm like, I don't want the token. I don't care about the drink. I just want to be able to help out in any little way, shape, or form. So
Yeah, and little gestures can mean a
just a
lot,
little
and you
thing. I
don't
mean,
even realize.
it was what, $8 out of my pocket, and it was just water, but it made me feel good. I'm like, yeah, I did something good today. So if you're out there and you're listening, it's just any little thing can really make you feel good, and it makes a difference.
Absolutely.
So I think that kind of spins into the next question he asks is, where do you find meaning in your life? And I think
That's the same.
we kind
Yeah.
of answered that, and I think
hmm
I think validation is where you know that you're doing the right thing when people say thank you, or they give you comments, whatever. That's kind of how you know that you're doing a good job. But yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
we pretty much answered that question as well.
Oh yeah. When I see somebody that walked into the studio and 6 months ago could barely move and is saying, "Hey, I'm able to, garden or golf or go for a walk or play with my grandchildren again," to me, that's my validation. I don't, you know what I mean? Because I'm not really doing the work. It's just I'm guiding them on their journey.
Yep.
Or if you're donating food to somebody, or I'm running a program where people are getting fed, and you just know that holiday is not going to be so bleak for them. That's validation. Just knowing that I don't need to be rewarded or get anything from it.
Yeah. So moving on to his next question was, is what you are doing now always what you wanted to do growing up? And I think we did briefly touch on that before, but it was asked kind of in a different way this time. I think before it
Yeah.
was, when did you realize you weren't going to be what you wanted to be? But now it's just, is what you're doing now always what you wanted to do? So I'll let you go first on this one.
Um, oh, that's a really good question. Yeah. Wait, could you ask the question again? I'm sorry.
Is what you are doing now
Okay.
always what you wanted to do while you were
Yeah, yeah,
growing up?
yeah. Okay. No, it's really not. I don't think specifically. I think uh, growing up, and I guess if I move forward, not just thinking of being a little kid saying I wanted to be a flight attendant, then a vet, then a whatever. When I was in high school, so I say growing up, we'll go from there. So when I was in high school, I really wanted I to somehow be traveling the world or working internationally
Mm-hmm.
or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I had that opportunity to do that. So I did do that for a while. And so I did kind of achieve that, but then having children and wanting to be based home and not be on the road all the time changed that. And this is where I found my career now. So I would say no, but at the same time, it was the right journey. So the path is going to change. You're going to change your path based on life circumstances. And it's where I should be. And I think it's where I need to be now. I think I am where I need to be. So, but I wouldn't say it's what I imagined I would be doing.
Right. Right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think mine's kind of similar. Like, I think I didn't know what I wanted to do growing up, and I had the elaborate fantasies of, oh, you're going to be a rock star. Oh, you can't play drums. Okay, I'm going to be on the PGA Tour. Well, you can't afford golf. And I think I just kind of didn't know where I was going to
hmm
end up or what I was going to do. But I always did grow up with a computer, and I would try to program computers, and I've always been around them. So I wouldn't say it's what I wanted to do. I didn't say I want to be in the IT field when I'm an adult and I'm grown. But I'm glad I'm in the IT field. I think that was the right field for me to be for me to end up
hmm
in, given the life I had growing up. Like, it was a perfect
Yeah.
fit. So no, it wasn't. And I just got there. I got there, and it was a weird path for me, because I took a
Oh,
path down the music route, and I went into the music industry. We're talking selling CDs at a record store.
mhm.
but in music industry, and then made connections there. And and here's some validation about meaningful, because of a connection that I had made there, he recognized that I had some good skills in management. I kind of went down the retail path in management, which then one of the people who worked for me said, you know a lot about computers and you have a management skills. Why don't you come to this company? And so it was kind of just like doing the right thing and pursuing what you want to do, and it lucked out. I mean, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aggressively trying. I'm just being myself, and opportunity.
Exactly. Just be yourself and kind of organically follow the path that kind of lays out before you. I think sometimes we don't trust those instincts and those, the path. Just trust it and follow it. And if there's this, if you have this gut feeling that there's something you should be doing, or you're given an opportunity and you're feeling really good about it, go for it. Especially when you're young.
Yep.
That's the time to do it, for sure. Or when you're old, you can change your career path. I've changed careers many, many times. And it's all worked out. So there's bumps. It's not a straight path. Life is not a straight upward path. It's a roller coaster, and so just ride it.
Yeah, exactly. And you never know where you're going, because we all, when we're younger, have those. You're not into your career job for most people right out of school or right away, but you never know. Just being a good worker and doing your thing, what that's going to. You don't know what other people know and who they know and what they can do for you. So if you're out there and you're kind of like, man, I don't know what I want to do later, or this isn't what I want to be doing, you got to keep your head in it and grind it out a little bit, and you'll be rewarded.
Grind it out and keep thinking ahead.
I forget the quote, but luck isn't a random thing. I don't remember the quote. Luck isn't completely random. You actually create environments for luck to present itself. So that's a very poorly worded take on whatever that quote is. But anyway,
I know what you mean, though. You create your own destiny.
Yeah. All right. Next question, and then we'll get into the Thanksgiving question. His next question is, how do you think people see you?
I don't know. Actually, it depends on who you ask. Yeah. That's tough. I think some people see me as very quiet and reserved, and I think some people see me as, very driven and hardworking. I think I'm a little bit of an enigma. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't think I'm universally seen the same way depending on the environment I'm in. Well, I'm not saying I'm not authentic all the time, but I don't really maybe my true personality.
But that's fair in what you do, because there is, being a trainer, there's a certain face you have to wear. You're there to do a job.
Every day you're there. It is, well, I think we all have that, but I think in the fitness world and probably in the entertainment world, the same world in a weird way, is you're showing up and you're supposed to be on. You can't have a bad day. You can't not feel well. I mean, you might not feel well, but you can't project it. So you're there to be uplifting, energizing, up, go. You're positive. You can't show up and be down. So your energy's constantly. So sometimes, like now, I probably sound, when I'm on these, I'm probably a little lower energy than I am when I'm teaching, because you can't put that kind of energy out all day long.
Right.
Like, you can't do that. And when my friends will be like, you don't answer the phone, I'm just like, I talked for like 6 hours straight today, and I was up and I was, trying to, boost people's morale and talk them through it. And you are, to some degree, people tell you their problems when they're working out with you. And, I've had people cry, I've had people break down. It's just, it's a safe space for a lot of people. So I feel like sometimes my friends think I'm maybe a little reserved and a little too chill, but it's like, you don't understand. I've been like at like 100,
Right.
all day, and then I've got to come down and chill my vibe out a little bit.
Right, understood.
So I don't know. I don't think people really know me. But
I get that. And this is doing this is probably the most exposure either of us have had to talking about who we are in front of people. But
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah, but I think I feel the same way. It's a really tough question. How do you think people see you? I mean, I think there's no way to know other than just based off of where you've been and kind of where you're at. And and it goes back to the earlier questions about meaningful life and validation, and say, okay, well, there's people that thank me for being who I am as a manager, whatever, to them, whatever. So I think ultimately people would see me as a pretty happy go lucky, accepting of everybody, like come in, give you a hug, sit down, let's drink a beer, whatever kind of guy. And I mean, I am that way, but I have an evil side too, and most people don't see that. But I think it's after, and it's like this. It's not putting on a face, but it's just being. I think that's how people see me. I think it's who I am. And
Yeah, but you're the guy that like goes into the bar and the bartender starts to talk to you, and the person next to you starts to talk to you. You definitely have that command the room. You do.
Okay.
That happens. You walk into a room, you own it for sure, 100%.
Yeah, and that's that. There's the opposite side of that where I will walk into a bar and I'll rap with the bartender because the bartender probably knows things about the city or a drink or whatever, and it's kind of cool. And he's got a job to do, so he's not going to be there the whole time. But when the jabroni next to me starts yapping about his day, I'm like, I'm not here to talk about your day, dude. I'm here because I've done that all day. Right? I'm just trying to eat a sandwich, okay? So anyway,
You give the vibe off though. I just know that. So
but yeah, but that's how I think people see me, and I
you
feel
definitely
it's pretty
command
accurate.
the room. Yeah, for sure.
All right, but thank you, thank you, Ross Saboon, for posing these questions. The last question that he had, which will lead us into a really a short little take on Thanksgiving here, is what are you most thankful for?
Oh God, goodness. I'm thankful. Most thankful. I don't think I can like categorize it because there's just so many things I'm really thankful for. I'm thankful right now for my health as much as I know about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's good.
Yep.
Had a few of these lately, but had a few drinks lately. Yeah, I mean, hopefully I'm I feel like I'm now in that like age group you have to worry about your health. And I'm like, I've never had to think about that before. I'm happy for my health. I'm thankful for my health, and I'm thankful for the community of people that have given me an outlet outside of my my daily work life and also my isolation. So I'm not a person meant to be isolated.
Right.
So, that last 8, 10 months, whatever it's been now, I've lost count, have been pretty isolating for me. And I'm definitely not meant to be stuck in a house all the time. So I go to work, I come home, I go to work, I come home. And I was definitely not that person. But this has opened up this huge world. So I'm really thankful for it. And of course, my family. I am always thankful for my family. And, of course, I don't have to go on about that.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that because I was going to say that about you, but
I mean,
but yeah,
go on.
good segue. I'm number one. Yeah, thankful for you, 100%. I'm here today because of you, so I do thank you. We won't go into that whole detail. I am also thankful for family. I think most of us are thankful for family, so I'm super appreciative that they're there. But yeah, aside from that, I'm thankful also. I don't want to sound redundant, but I am thankful for my health. I've got to where I am now and really, knock on wood, haven't dealt with many issues, and I'm very fortunate. I think, you kind of create some of that environment, but a lot of us get dealt health scares that we never saw coming, and I know it's tough to deal with. And so, I'm glad that I'm a healthy person, even if I don't eat super healthy and I'm drinking absinthe or whatever. So I'm thankful, and I'm also thankful for a tremendous community of friends that we've developed over the course of the last couple months. Super thankful that they're here. They show up late on a Wednesday night or
Listen
early
to
on
us
Thursday
ramble
morning.
on about whatever we're rambling on about.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm thankful for every single person who tunes in, who comes to a Twitch channel, who DMs and says hello, who joins a Discord and talks about whatever.
And it's different than online friends in other environments, because I'm in different groups and different things. This is definitely different. It feels more personal, even though we don't necessarily know everybody's names in real life. You guys know my name because I was dumb enough to not know you ain't supposed to put your real name in there, but old. But the fact that everybody's kind of shared who they are in their story to some degree, and at least just been really, really supportive, and I just honestly, it does feel like a family and a friendship, and
It does.
especially everybody here that's chilling with us tonight. But those who couldn't be here tonight, we understand, and it's huge. It's really huge, and I think it's huge across the board. Maybe outside of our community, having this connection, having the ability to connect
Yep.
through whether it's Twitch or through the internet, through whatever groups and support you need in times when people are feeling incredibly isolated.
Yes.
And we do understand that feeling. We fully understand. So,
yeah,
fantastic. We're thankful for y'all.
And thankful for Frost for the questions. Thanks, Frost.
And great questions from Frost.
Excellent questions. We're happy to answer all of those. So we're talking about most thankful. Next week is Thanksgiving in the holidays. We have a community. Most of the community are not people who live in the United States. So we thought it might be kind of fun to just go over really quickly kind of what Thanksgiving is and maybe a food or meal that you could prep on your own. We're fortunate that Amy_Beth usually holds one of the most festive Thanksgiving meals ever. And has lots of hints and tips, and we'll go over kind of some of the foods. And I've got some hot takes on a couple of things, but I'm going to kick it over to you just to kind of briefly talk about Thanksgiving and kind of what it means to you, and maybe how it's different this year, and some foods.
Oh, it's so different this year. Yeah, it's different this year because I'm being responsible. Sorry, and I'm trying not to spread COVID around the world. So, I got a cat on me. So this year it's much smaller. But normally I host a really big Thanksgiving, and obviously in the US the meal is a turkey, which can be very dry and unflavorful. But I do have a secret turkey weapon, and I usually serve turkey. I usually serve a vegetarian stuffing and I don't stuff my turkey. What do you call it? Dressing, whatever they call it. And because my daughter's a vegetarian, one of my daughters is a vegetarian, and I do a sweet potato souffle, and I make a soup, and I'm trying to think, homemade cranberry sauce. I don't do the canned stuff. Everything's homemade, and I'm just going to do it all in a much smaller, tinier scale. But mashed potatoes, a green vegetable of some sort, usually Brussels sprouts, roasted or something along those lines. I usually smoke a salmon and have a charcuterie board.
What?
A cocktail of the day. And it's been many different ones. Yeah.
The charcuterie board. We got salmon. We've got turkey. We've got stuffing. We've got potatoes. We've got sweet potatoes. We've got Brussels sprouts. But you don't. What's the secret on the turkey? Because there's no way to prepare a turkey.
There's a couple different secrets. Some people fry them. It's the driest meat in the world. No, it's not. It shouldn't be if it's cooked properly. So if you take the turkey the night before, and I make this brine of veggie broth, believe it or not. Go. Squirt. I'm squirting him away. Go. He's not afraid of it anymore. Oh no. It was my secret weapon. He's not afraid of the water.
Oh no.
I do vegetable broth, and I do peppercorns and star anise and all kinds of fabulous things, and salt, kosher salt. And you put the turkey in a big, huge bag, and then you put it in a cooler, and you cover it with ice, and it brines for 12 to 24 hours. And that helps to keep the juices in the turkey. So when you cook it, and then I sear it really quickly, I oil the skin, and I stuff it, not with stuff you're going to eat, but I put aromatics in it. So it'll be an apple, an onion, a whole bunch of herbs, half a lemon, and I stuff the inside of the turkey with that, so that infuses the flavor into the turkey. Jesus. So you put it into the oven at 400, sear it briefly, and then you turn it down really low, and then you cook it low for however long, depending on the size of your turkey. and it's really moist, and it tastes. You get the aromatic infusion plus the infusion of what it was brined in, so you're going to get all of the lovely. I don't know. I think it's like I said, peppercorn, salt, anise, all different things. So I can't remember them off the top of my head.
That's insane.
Oh, and you stick you stick the cinnamon in it too. It gets cinnamon, onion, apple, herbs, all that kind of stuff. Spices go inside
Holy
the cavity.
smokes.
Yeah, you don't eat them. Obviously, you take it out and then you carve it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's what
you don't just put it in the oven and wait for the little thing to pop up.
No. No. It's a process. I mean, it isn't, and I actually get a fresh turkey that has been roaming free and had a good life until I bought it. And then, so it's been walking around. It hasn't, so I buy fresh, so it wasn't frozen. I get it, and it's just come off the farm, which is kind of sad, which upsets my daughter over here because she's a vegetarian. So then everything else I make is vegetarian. So everything else is done without meat so that she has a lot of food as well.
So no ham.
She's a pescatarian. No ham. She's a pescatarian, actually. So she will eat the smoked salmon. Yeah.
Incredible.
Because I have friends who provide me with salmon and stuff. So.
I'm still stuck on the turkey. Who knew?
Yeah, it's so good. It has so much flavor because everything imparts the flavor into it. Yeah. So it has much more flavor than you would imagine. And it was fresh to begin with. So it was free range, organic, and wasn't frozen.
And so we can go in and post addresses in the Over the Hump channel in the Discord to have leftovers sent. Am I correct?
Yeah, you want leftover turkey. And I do, and this is a huge controversy, at least on Facebook. And I know probably most of your people aren't on Facebook, but on Facebook, there's this huge controversy that they hate the fresh cranberry sauce, which I make every year. Because I don't like the canned Jell-O thing that you out.
No,
and it's just
no.
the shape of the can, and then you slice it. I hated that as a kid. So when I realized it wasn't like originally made to be like that, what you do is you boil down the cranberries and you add brandy, because of course, and you I do like orange, like a great orange peel into it and some fresh squeezed orange juice into it. And you boil that down with a little brown sugar and some cinnamon and spices. It creates almost like, I don't want to say a compote, but it's like the whole berries are soft and they've been cooked, and they cook during the day while the turkey's cooking. And you just take a tiny little scoop of it. You're not supposed to like eat a gelatinized thing of it. Sorry if anybody's offended by this, because I know this is a big topic. And it's just meant to complement. It's just like a small, it's almost like how you eat your sushi with wasabi and soy. It's meant to be a complement to your turkey. It elevates the flavors of your turkey.
I would venture to guess, and I don't want to offend anybody who has traditional Thanksgiving meals and likes the gelatinous cranberry goo. But yeah. I would assume it's probably because the turkey is dry and is hard to digest, so they dump it in the cranberry sauce to try to give it some flavor and some wetness. So now they're just like taking double negatives.
Well, usually they do the gravy for that, but I also make my gravy. I do more of an au jus gravy. I don't like to make it really thick, so I take the drippings and then I add white wine and garlic, and I saute it into the pan, the drippings, and create like a clear gravy, not a thick, heavy gravy, which I think is also better, but it's a whole thing.
That's insane. That's just insane. But it goes to you and your cooking, and
I do
doing
like to cook.
And doing it the right way. Because there's so many,
there's no right way. Some people like the cranberry in the can and the thick gravy that you can buy also in a can, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you grew up with, and that's what you expect.
Right.
I just my kids didn't grow up with that. Kids would if I plopped out a can of it, they would look at that and be like, what is that? They don't like Jell-O. Jillian doesn't, and it's gelatinized, so she doesn't eat anything gelatin because it's not vegetarian or pescatarian. So anyway, it's a whole thing. So everything's very organic.
Right,
and
and
test it.
I have a whole thing about proteins that aren't cooked right, and then so people just slather other stuff on the protein to try to
Well,
make it
yeah,
taste
you
good,
cover
and
it.
it's
Yeah.
yeah,
You should be able to eat the turkey without anything on it. It should taste good.
right, and everything else complements it. Just like people with
Right.
steak who do their steak well done and they dunk it in A1 sauce. Well, man, you're just holy
You should
smokes.
just be able to eat a steak with nothing. You don't need butter. You don't need that whole mess.
No,
You if the steak's cooked properly and was seasoned properly, you should be able to slice into that with nothing. It should need
right,
nothing. It should
right.
be a sweet, properly cooked product,
What
protein. You're
what
right.
is
Same thing with salmon.
what is the what do you put on your salmon? Nothing.
Most I like to grill it or bake it with almost nothing. Maybe a little lemon, little. I have salmon seasoning that I've purchased or
Nice.
make, but which is just a little garlic, salt, whatever.
Yeah,
Salmon is so flavorful on its own. It
you
doesn't
don't need.
actually need anything if you get
Yeah.
it fresh. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, lemon. I think lemon is the key. I've modified my
Lemons,
salmon over the years, and
yeah, lemon.
lemon is the secret. Just a little bit of little extra.
Lemon's great on everything except, I mean, not meat, not steak. Don't put it on your steak. Lemon's really great on vegetables and fish and chicken.
And almost
So
everything.
almost
What's
everything.
so what?
And in your cocktail.
What's for dessert?
I'm not a big sweets person, but I have bananas that I've been ripening, so I'm making banana bread
Oh,
and I'm making snickerdoodle cookies. And usually, well, my sweet dearly departed grandmother, and I mean this, and she was the best baker in the world, so I can never live up to it. She would actually buy the special pumpkin that you roast and then make the pumpkin pie from. I
wow.
forget what they're called, sugar pumpkins or something. There's a special pumpkin. They're kind of flattish. I don't really make pie. I'm not a baker. It's not my. I'm much better at cooking than baking. So I don't know what's going to happen this year. There's only a few of us, and I don't know. I'm not sure. There'll be banana bread. There'll be cookies. I'll figure something
There'll
out.
be a lot of leftovers.
There'll be leftovers. I prefer the savory over the sweet. And usually I would buy the Beaujolais Nouveau, which is the French. It comes
Yeah.
out every year this time. Some years it's good, some years it's not. But the Beaujolais Nouveau from France is usually a lovely complement to turkey or a nice dry Riesling. Anyway, yeah, ask me. I'll tell you.
Did they do the Beaujolais Nouveau this year? Because you
Oh
said you
yeah,
usually buy.
they'll harvest it.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I just haven't gotten it. Usually it's this weekend, I do believe. I should be able to try it this weekend. I usually buy a bottle to see if it's worth it. And
Right.
if it's worth it, I'll buy a whole case of it because if it's good, it's really good. I just haven't read up on
Interesting.
the harvest.
Well, I don't think I've ever. I want to say I had it once, and maybe it was on an off year.
It's like a light red. It's a young red, so
Yeah.
it doesn't have that kind of heavy. You have to kind of be prepared for it, but it's a big festival. I mean, they won't be having the festival in France, but they'll be harvesting it. It's still part of the holiday season in France.
Yeah. Excellent. Wow. Now heck with the
Are you
leftovers.
hungry?
We're just wait. Yeah, we're just waiting for the invite to the house. I think we'll
I'll take pictures.
we can catch a plane. Yes,
I
take
wish I
pictures.
could have everybody because I miss having people. I like to cook for large groups. So usually I would have upwards of 25 people at my house. And they're probably going to be three of us. So it'll
Big
be a lot
change.
smaller. Yeah, because we're not allowed to get together. So it's okay.
Next year.
Next year, it's
Next
all
year, way
right.
back to it.
You do it. You do it to keep everybody safe. You keep it small because you care about people. So what I'm doing, and then I will stop talking because now I've been manipulating the conversation. I am making gift baskets. So tomorrow I'm getting up early and cooking. I am making a carrot ginger soup, and I'm putting them in jars and baking obviously banana bread, pumpkin bread, and getting bottles of wine, and I'm putting gift baskets together and I'm delivering them to people who would normally be at my house for Thanksgiving or
Oh
people
wow.
who I care about or people I'm worried are going to be alone. I'm not making the whole meal, obviously, but just going to deliver those. That's why I'm not going to be able to do the podcast next Wednesday because I have to start delivering gift baskets next Wednesday to people who I feel need a little comfort and love and can't see people. So I'm going to just visit them, say hi from outside, and with my little one by my side, we're going to deliver gift baskets.
That's pretty
So tomorrow I
awesome.
start baking. I have to start the process of cooking and baking tomorrow.
I have this vision of this little whimsical you with your basket of stuff, like waltzing up to the doors of all the people.
Little me and
Hello.
the littler person, the person who's this much littler than me. She's like half the size of me. She's like the Cora. She's the little one. The little one will help me. She'll be baking away this next few days or next week. So yeah.
Pro
So that's what we're doing.
Thanksgiving strats. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So what do you think? Because I manipulated that.
No, that was it.
Love it.
I have
It's
no.
my holiday.
It's your holiday. It's your big thing, and that's why I let you take that one because I have no Thanksgiving strat. None. You've known me to actually have gone out for most Thanksgivings with my family when they were
That's
nearby.
okay too.
We used to do really small dinner. I have a really small family anyway, so I don't think I've ever been at a Thanksgiving with more than 4 people. So we started going out to places, and of course that's not going to happen this year because a lot of places aren't doing it.
Such a bummer.
But yeah, so yeah, I've got no strats on the
It's okay.
On the Thanksgiving meal. But
It's my over the top thing.
no, I love it. But it's the little thing. It's just knowing that it's the tips of you don't slather your stuff, whatever. Make your stuff with good ingredients. Think about what's going on. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of pro cooking strats
Oh,
that are
well,
tied
thank
up
you.
into
I don't know.
that.
I'm not a pro by any means, but
No,
I'm learning every
you
day.
are. Yeah, you are. Someday we'll be visiting your restaurant wherever it may be.
No, that's a tough industry. No,
Out,
no, no.
out in Arizona.
I would love to move to Arizona. Anybody in Arizona?
We have any people in Arizona? We need to hook up.
Arizona people, I really want to move to Arizona. Yeah, I do. Anyway,
But that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And the gift basket thing is an insanely good idea. And I know
I'll
people,
take some pictures and post them on Discord in case anybody cares.
that would be awesome. That would be awesome. And I think your peeps are going to love getting those baskets, and it's going to
Yeah,
bring
it's
some
my
joy
parents,
to them.
my aunt, my siblings, my friends. Yeah,
It's important. I think it's going to be a tough holiday for a lot of people because
it's gonna
they're
be
used to
hard.
they're
Yeah.
used to having a lot of people around, and it's not going to happen for hopefully a majority of us. But
No, and you know what? You do the little tiny hard things, difficult, you make difficult decisions, but they're not that difficult this year.
yeah,
So that next year you don't have to make really, really horrible, difficult holidays where you're missing people.
yep,
So you want to just be smart. It's okay. It's a day. I plan on in 6 months having my parents and my siblings over for a really big feast. I'm going to cook a full turkey. I'm going to do the whole thing, but we'll have a tent outside. And in 6 months, we'll be able to be outside. It's like 20 degrees outside right now, so we're not doing it now.
right.
But in 6 months, we can, and I can have them over. And I keep telling my mom, like, it'll be okay. So I'm going to surprise them with the gift baskets. And my kids are coming home because, they need a little TLC too, and
Yeah,
they'll be fine. But
excellent,
it's just us. So
excellent. It's going to be awesome.
it's all
So
fine. It's going to be okay. There's light at the end of the tunnel, you guys. Hang in there.
we're getting there. I think we've got it. We're going to get through. It's going to get ugly, I think, here over the next couple of weeks. But then I think we're going to.
But
get
hang
out of
in
it.
there. Just
Yeah.
do the right things. Just keep doing the right things as best you can.
And I guess it is. We didn't plan this, but as we get into the holiday season, it is time where people are going to struggle. People are going to struggle even more so this year. You've got
Definitely.
friends in this entire community. You
Oh my
have
gosh.
friends.
Reach out to us.
Reach out 100%.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And
Yeah.
yep. And we're going to try to do, I know next Wednesday not, but we're going to try to keep, actually next Wednesday night, we'll probably just do something. It just won't be the podcast. It'll probably be a little later because I can't plan on a specific time because I'm going to be delivering gift baskets.
Yeah, we might have a special activity going
But we
on.
might have some fun because I know people may be separated from families and be isolated. And usually it'd be Friendsgiving for the younger people. It was a big deal. I always had
Yep.
my kids host Friendsgiving here. It's not happening this year. So if anybody, we'll do something fun next Wednesday. We'll do something fun over the holidays. We'll keep it fun. If you guys need family, we can be here for you guys. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
reach out.
Yeah, reach out if you're on the fence. Reach out. If you want to, Even if you want to have a conversation in Discord via text, if you want to jump on
Yeah.
a
Reach out
video
to us.
chat, if you want to go into a voice channel and just talk and whatever, we more. I think I speak for you.
Hmm.
Both of us are more than happy to listen and help out and talk to you.
Absolutely.
Don't let it eat
And
you
we could
up.
do happy hours or
Oh yeah.
just chats, whatever you need.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
and
So
very important.
anyway, with that, we will wrap each week with a really quick what to watch. You have found something that
I
you
have.
really
I have
enjoy.
made a
So this is
discovery.
on your yeah. What is it?
It is The Queen's Gambit. It's on Netflix, which I think most of you guys probably have access to. Anyway, absolutely brilliant.
I've heard of
I
that. Yeah.
haven't watched a lot. I pulled back because we're gonna watch, and I watched 2 episodes just to see, and it's just so incredible. Really, really riveting. It is a very specific. It is a I think 7 episode miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be a second season. I think it starts and completes. I think there will be an ending because of how it's done, and it's
Right.
based on a novel that I did not read, but highly, highly recommended if you need to escape the acting. The actress, and forgive me because I don't remember her name. She's absolutely stunning, and I don't mean that. I mean, obviously, physically, she's gorgeous, but her acting is just incredibly intense. She's beautiful. Anyway, can't say enough good things about it. If you have access to Netflix, check it out. Give it 1 episode. I think you'll be hooked. Really brilliant.
Awesome. Anna Taylor-Joy, I think, is the name of the person. I just looked it up really
Yes,
quick.
yes. Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm
She's
glad
phenomenal.
you.
Oh, Tararu,
I'm
you're
glad
here.
you. If
She's in. I
you're
just saw her.
listening, Tararu has popped into our chat while we record it. So yeah.
Sorry,
Awesome.
I'm sorry. I don't normally answer only because we called her out earlier.
We
and
did
she's
call her out
completely
earlier.
right. We cheers to you. So you, she's phenomenal. Anyway, so is Tororo. So is the actress. Equally phenomenal in every possible way.
Yeah, I'm glad you called it out
Stunning.
because we had because we talk about what to watch, or whatever, and I monitor a pretty good thread that's always really good on offering up suggestions for shows, and they had brought that up, and I remember mentioning it. I'm glad it's awesome because it was one of those. Is it going to get too chessy, or is it going to be more story? You know.
As somebody who is terrible at chess but enjoys chess but is terrible at chess, no, it doesn't. It that doesn't dominate the storyline, but you appreciate it. You appreciate the way they develop the character and her brilliance, but you don't have to understand or know chess to feel like you can watch it. It's really much more about the character development, primarily of her, but also of the ancillary characters as well. It's absolutely incredible. And like I said, it makes me feel really bad about how bad I play chess. It's
I'm
just it's brilliance. It doesn't. It's not so much about the brilliance of playing chess. It's about when there's just geniuses in whatever it is, whether it's golf
right.
or math, science, anything that there's these brilliant people at, and it having that kind of talent can be a blessing and a curse too, right? So
Right.
I'm just assuming that's where it's going to go to some degree, and also just life in general. But it's phenomenal.
Awesome. Great recommendation. I can't wait to check it out. I'm going to try to catch up a couple
Highly,
episodes.
highly
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Great recommendation.
Oh wait, can I give a second recommendation?
Yes, you can.
I also watched The Trial of the Chicago 7,
Oh.
which I want to rewatch because I feel like I watched it and I was a little bit tired and I missed some things, and I would like to watch it back because Sacha Baron Cohen is in it, and is it Jeremy Strong from
Yeah.
Succession?
Succession.
Phenomenal actors, actresses, and actors, and it was really well done. But I kind of feel like I want to go back and rewatch it, so that's something I would watch again and highly recommend.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'd read a lot of good things about it too. So good to know a couple good Netflix options while we're sitting around
It's very prescient
our
as
books.
well. No, but the Trial of the Chicago 7 is very prescient. It feels very modern in a very vintage way. So
Right.
weirdly, it begins like right before I was born, which is kind of weird because I was like, wow, this is what life is like when I was a baby. And then, which always shocks me. It shocks me to this day. that's what it was like back in the 60s. But anyway, it was just really, really incredible. And I almost need to watch it again to fully breathe everything in, because it feels like we should have gotten a lot further in 50
Makes
years.
sense. Yeah, it makes total sense.
In 50 years, 50 plus years, we should be so much further along. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Awesome. No, great recommendations. I think it's fantastic. I look forward to both of those. Definitely on my list to watch. So yeah, great stuff.
Sorry, I totally manipulated the end of this tonight. So
no, it was all you. That was planned. It was all you had. Great. You got the Thanksgiving strats we do, and you would take advantage of a couple of those shows. So that's awesome that now we can all check out. So
please do. Yeah.
With that'll bring this episode to a close. So I want to
so much.
say thank you to everyone who's out there. Thank you, Amy, for doing the podcast. It's been a pleasure over the first 9 episodes. Look forward to doing more. I want to just send a shout out to everybody who's listening. You're chatting, you're watching a VOD, whatever. Mm-hmm. Please hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving holiday. If you celebrate Thanksgiving holiday, I hope it goes well for you. I know it's going to be different this year. Remember that we're here for you. But I really hope everybody has a great holiday. We will catch you again on the other side of the holiday as we get into the Christmas season. My gosh, it's going so fast.
But if you need us in the meantime, we're here for you. Please.
We absolutely are.
Reach out if you're feeling isolated or alone. We understand.
Absolutely. So with that, we'll go ahead and bring things to a close. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We will see you again in 2 weeks for the 10th episode of
Hard to believe.
Over the Hump. If you do have topics, questions that you want to address,
please shout them out.
Let us know and help us out. And with that, we'll bring things to a close. Take care. Have a good evening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Namaste.
And scene. There we go. All right. Number 9 is in the books. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Oh, she's eating ice. Thank you guys for being here. Tararu coming in. Tararu, we gave you a shout out. I don't know if you knew that. The 2 shout outs for the week was Ducey, who was here early, and Tararu, who showed up towards the tail end. We know your time is limited. My dog is tilting his head at Amy's voice. That is awesome.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Sorry, I had to eat my blue cheese stuffed olive. I was waiting the whole time.
I said ice, and I meant it just came out wrong.
Olive, it's okay.
But yeah, Duo, all you guys, Nez, all you guys are here. I told Ducey that you shouted him out. It's good. Oh, thanks, dude.
Oh, thanks you.
Dude. Yeah, Cuddle was here. Den was here. I know I'm missing a ton of names.
Cuddle's always here.
Yeah.
My love.
Thanks for the support, you guys. We really do appreciate it.
Honest to God, we can't believe you guys want to hear us ramble on every week.
Every week, when you click,
if you're like, just done.
Yeah, when you click on, you as a streamer, when you click on go live, you start out at 1, and then you just your fingers crossed, and you kind of know some people might pop in, whatever. But to see you guys come in and hang out for a while, it means a lot. So we thank you guys.
We so appreciate it, and hopefully there's something gleaned from our old brains.
From our rambling.
Our time on this earth, as I keep saying. My half a century on this earth.
and like I said, we'll be off next week. I think we're going to... And like Amy alluded to it, we're not doing next week because, not only because of the holiday, but she's got a lot going on. So we might still be here, though, maybe even more towards this time. We might do a GeoGuessr. We might do some sort of, low-key Jackbox, whatever, just hang out for a while.
Fine. Yeah. Anything.
Yeah,
Friendsgiving, something.
Yeah, exactly. And I also
for
plan...
those who,
on Thursday, there's no my family's not meeting up. It's by choice, but I will be streaming next Thursday during Thanksgiving. I think doing something for a while. Bros, Cuddle's amazing. You guys have such great conversations.
Oh my gosh,
I'm always enthralled.
I love Cuddle.
Joey, thank you, Joey. Cuddle is awesome.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses, and I can't read anything in chat.
Duo, I speed to get home on Wednesdays to try to get here in time.
Oh,
Duo, thanks,
duo, thank
man. Really
you.
appreciate it.
We just appreciate if anybody even,
Yeah,
yeah, if you get
yeah.
a second in here, or if you're like, yeah, guys, keep doing this. If you guys were like, you know what, it's probably had its time. We don't care anymore.
Yeah.
No, we'll stop. I'm just kidding.
I recommend this to friends as well. I enjoy the dynamic a lot. It's refreshing. That was Tararu. Thanks, Tararu.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Duo,
Really.
and Duo, I told my L for the week. I told the story of our Tsushima experience of having to go through the tutorial for 40 minutes and then get yeeted into a game that has 15 waves. It was such a funny night.
Oh my gosh. And I missed that. I
Callie,
missed a lot. Yeah.
yeah, 1 second. Well, okay, guess that's me.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything on Thanksgiving. Den, if you've been quarantined for 2 weeks, you can come see me. We'd love to come
Aw,
see you, Den.
exactly. Story of my
Den
life.
guaranteed. When things get a little better, we're definitely going to connect, either up here or down where you're at. Well, I'll yank Tai Lu from upstairs and we'll go grab a beer. Joey, I listen to a ton of podcasts whenever I drive, do chores, and you guys are definitely a favorite of mine to listen to. Joey, that's really awesome of you to
Oh
say.
my gosh. Yeah.
We're,
And I'm a podcast nerd. I have
yeah,
my favorites. We could talk about that. We could actually
we could
make an
do
episode of that.
podcasts. Yeah, our favorite podcasts.
I am a huge podcast nerd. I listen to a lot of podcasts. So we could talk. I would love to know. If you guys want to throw that in our Discord or it's not mine, in your Discord,
It's all of ours. It's not mine. I just have
in
to. I just
the
created
Discord.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to throw any podcast you like and ones you recommend, we'd love to kind of shout that out because I think that would be a great episode. Actually,
That would be a lot of
I'm
fun.
I could talk about podcasts for hours, so I'll have to distill it down a little bit. But I do really love podcasts.
Oh, I forgot. That's right. Duo just mentioned after the tutorial he had to buy PS Plus, and then because he didn't, PS Plus wasn't active, so he had to go through that.
Oh
He had to
no!
hide his screen, put in his credit card, do all that, restart his PS4. It was such a funny
Oh
thing, man.
dear my! Oh my word! Yeah, that was a whole ordeal that night.
Look at Den. Welcome to Over the Hump, episode 10. Today we're talking about the best podcast. It's this one. See you next week.
It's Oh, I have so many podcast heroes. They're like, so podcasters are celebrities to me. So the fact that I get to even open my mouth and people listen to it and I chat for a minute and somebody thinks that anything I say is even minutely worthwhile is incredible because I'm such a he knows I am such a podcast nerd.
Yeah, you are.
I,
Listen to a
I
ton.
really am a podcast nerd.
I I was better at podcasts when I sat in a car for 3 hours a day. I had 1.5 hours to work and 1.5 hours back from work. But now that I'm
I
never in a car, I
I listen
I
to
don't
'em
listen to them.
when I listen when I run. I listen to it
Yeah,
on the long drives out. When I pick up my kids from school. I listen to them when I haven't as much with Twitch, but I still regularly listen to podcasts.
thanks, Nez, by the way.
So anyway, I would love to have that conversation because I have a lot of opinions on podcasts.
Yeah,
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
yeah, Nez, you didn't jump the gun there. Yeah, that was a weird egg. That was a. We keep it a little cleaner than that, and I know you may not have meant anything bad, but yeah.
I
Um,
missed all that.
Ain't got time for podcasts. Too many of you people streaming all day, every day, right, Den? It is a
Yeah.
full time job to try to keep up with streams. I missed
Well,
every stream today, all of them, all of them. I didn't catch a single
I'm
one.
I've missed almost every stream for the last 2 weeks because I've not listened to podcasts, but I read the book. So you gotta you have to take your time. I don't know. It's hard.
Well, I've been taking, if maybe you guys know or you don't know, but Sunday is I try to get off of the computer and just step away from it because I'm on the computer all day. So I designate Sunday as my, all right, we're going to do some cleaning around the house. We're not going to watch TV. A lot of times I'll just sit around. But now that I have the books, I can start reading the book or I'll go sit on the deck. But you just got to disconnect, whatever. And so it's a whole nother day of not being able to catch streams.
I know it's hard. We try. everybody's been super supportive of everybody else. So
Yeah, and work wise, it's like the little crunch for me right now with my job because in the IT world we go into a holiday mode where we don't do any changes to the networks. So it's called a holiday freeze, and that holiday freeze is coming up. The first one's next week, and there's a little opening, and then it freezes again for December. So we're trying to crunch down all of the projects that we had planned over the year. We're trying to get them done before the end of the year. So it's been really really busy to the point where normally I could be in a stream and chat or whatever, but now it's just like video calls are popping up all day, and it's sometimes I just don't even I'm not even going to click because I'm going to click say hello and I'm going to have to go. So
I know. And
it'll
then you
get
feel
better.
bad. I'm kind of in the same boat because we're on our push. So I'm doing all the marketing stuff for our studio. And then it's also end of year, which means all the charity stuff because of the two holidays coming up. I'm working on feeding people, not just feeding them physically in my house, but making sure people are fed. So I have two charities running. I've got my studio running, and we're trying to push out, trying to keep people rolling and keep us in business through the pandemic, starting with the new year. So it's just a lot going on. It's a tough time of year, and everybody wants off. So as a studio manager, I tend
Oh
to
yeah,
cover a lot of shifts.
yeah.
I tend to cover when my teachers can't teach because of their own family stuff. So it's crazy right now. It's been crazy for about 2 weeks,
Yeah, mine
and
would
I
be
think it's gonna,
crazy for like the end of this week, maybe a little bit next week, and then it'll die down until that first week of December, and the rest of December is super chill. So I'll be
I
watching all
mean,
kinds of stuff.
depending on how things go with the pandemic, usually we're super busy right after the New Year because everyone makes New Year's resolutions. So that's just kind of my
Resolutionists.
resolutionist. Yeah. So that's my big, that's my go time. But I'm not sure this year it's going to be like that. But we want to try to get them.
Den, I
So,
had like three going at one point today. Yeah, because I'm that big of a nerd.
oh,
I'll watch
yeah.
other people write code. There's nothing wrong, dude. Den, that's your thing, man.
Yeah.
I miss so many myself too, and when I do catch some, I'm out because of I'm on and out because of work. Yeah, I was supposed to be off today,
Yeah.
but got asked to work, and tomorrow is a 14-hour day. Oh man, jeez.
14 hours. What kind of work do you do? That's Tororo, right?
Yeah, Tararu. Yeah, yeah. What do you do, Tararu? If you want to share, if you don't want to share, that's fine.
Yeah, you don't have to. I'm sorry. I'm just wondering where 14 hours is a lot.
It's also the end of the year where so many people are super busy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you're right, Naz.
Everybody's kind of on that push, end of the year push.
We're about to pick up in a month or so at work as well. Ah,
We hope so, right? I mean, we're all lucky if we're working at this point, I think.
yeah. That's another thing. It's going to be that's just another thing at play. People are out jobs and the holidays. That's just man.
Yeah.
My
Well,
job should be picking up too. At least I hope so. Oh, good, Cinnamon. I'm glad to hear that.
that's awesome. I mean, we all want to be working, so busy's good.
Yep.
We totally appreciate if people are busy. Yeah, so I'm excited. That was good. I talked about food.
Now I'm hungry. I'm like, oh, I want
I'm
something to eat.
hungry. I really want food right now.
We provide for city infrastructure. We're essential.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
huge. That's huge. Duo, yeah.
Tararu. I'm a nanny for a family while my son is homeschooling during the pandemic. I was a preschool teacher before this whole COVID thing hit. Oh,
That's
okay. Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. But that's a long day. And it's a lot of teaching. So I understand.
We didn't shut down at all over the pandemic. Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing, Duo. Cinemonster actually be able to go play in the big machines again. Ah. Be careful.
Be safe.
Yeah. I hope you don't. I hope your the job is a little bit different than when we play like Hand Simulator or some of those other games. Tararu, my mom did the same thing. Had to go nanny while her daycare was closed. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Duo, electric busways, switchboards, panel boards, sell to hospitals, prisons, small businesses, business giant. Oh wow.
Oh, very
And
infrastructure-y.
I hope the
Is that a word?
drama. I hope the drama has kind of chilled there, duo. You were seeing some stuff between the fights and everything else. I hope that's kind of calmed down.
We don't want to have it. Oh, you're the essential paperwork. Yeah. I'm not essential.
You're all essential to me, okay, Nez?
Aw. Yeah, Jefferson, calm down now that we're not actually recording. I don't even know where he went.
Cinnamon, cats and hoes are much easier to run than anything in hand sim. Plus Nez, all essential. Yeah, I'm lucky because I'm in hospitality, but we're backed by corporate that has ties in oil and banking, and so we're pretty lucky that we can stay open. Jefferson knows. Jefferson does know.
Jefferson's naughty. I don't know where he went, which scares me always. I'm like, what's he doing?
Duo, our shift has lost about 10 people recently. Oh, man. Drama is lower.
Aw.
Well, at least the drama is lower.
Low drama is a good thing.
I hope your mom's situation is good. Ashraru, her daycare actually opened up again, so she's doing good. Oh, good. Awesome. All right.
All right, guys.
As much as I would just hate to just sit here and gab all night, we do have to bid you adieu. Let's
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen. Don't make me sing.
singing Channel Point Redemption coming soon, and it won't be
No.
me singing. It'll be Amy.
Sound of Music. I can sing the whole thing, start to finish.
Oh, we could do holiday movies too.
Mm-hmm.
For a topic. Oh, Joey knew. Sound of Music. Lego, Amy.
See that? Thank you. Adieu, adieu to you and you and you. Yeah, I could do that all night long. We're not going to do that.
Doe, dear, female deer. Absolutely. That's the one I know. But not singing it. If Die Hard isn't on your holiday movie list, I'll be very upset.
Always.
Of course it's on there, and it is a holiday movie. 100%. All right. Man. This is becoming super routine of me. I raid the guy every freaking night. He's gonna think I'm weird or something. Like, why does this guy always raid me? Anyway, you're 16 going on 17.
He's gonna
that
be
didn't
like,
age well. Oh no.
I am.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie
17.
or a Halloween movie? It's a Halloween movie, I think.
No, it's both. In my book, it's both. I watch it for both.
But I would watch it for Halloween. I would not watch it for Christmas.
I like it for both.
I'm too busy with the Christmas Story.
Yeah, 16 going on 17 is a little creepy when you think about it.
Times were different.
There's like before you go, there is a funny, I think it's like a SNL skit where it's like she's 16 when at first he starts out as 17 and then he becomes like, well, I'm actually 21, and then it's like I'm 24, and then by the end of the thing he's like 50. And it's really
awesome.
Creepy. Yeah, it was very fun. I mean, it wasn't that funny, but it cracked me up.
That is almost also included on the holiday films on my list when we talk about it, is the Saturday Night Live Christmas special that they air every year, because they have just pure comedy gold.
Sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls is the best. I like Home Alone for Christmas. Yeah, another staple.
Home Alone's great. Elf.
The music composer says it's a Halloween film about Christmas. Imagine if the director says it's a Christmas film about Halloween. Home Alone is the only Xmas movie, and no one can tell me otherwise.
I don't know. Christmas Vacation is
Christmas Vacation
is pretty much my favorite. Sure, it's full. Sorry. Sorry, not PG.
Oh, are you going to have cat drama when you put up a Christmas tree this year?
Oh, I don't think I'm putting a Christmas tree up because he's so naughty. No. I think there'll be no Christmas tree this year, which is kind of sad, but I don't trust him. He was on my top of my refrigerator. He's climbed on the edges of all the framework of the doors. He can that cat's like he's trouble.
Can you raid Astral Surfer 663? She could use some love, but the vibe will be different. I don't. Let me pull it up. Man, the Twitch ads are just out of control.
Pretty brutal.
Oh, I don't know the game. Cool. Yeah, you know what, Cuddle? Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know how many people are familiar with her, but I've got no problem going with your recommendation there and sending her a little
Cool
raid.
name too.
Yeah,
Ashton Surfer.
yeah. So yeah, thanks for the recommendation, Cuddle. Because not that I don't want to raid Deucey, but I raid him every night.
You don't want to creep him out. Don't creep him out, man.
He'll be like, "Yo, Skojo, got anything better to
Thanks,
do, buddy?"
bud.
All right. Copy the raid thing. Okay, thank you. She just needs some love. Awesome. Let's go over and say hi to her. Glad I didn't fully warn him yet. Yeah. That's good. All right. Before we go, thank you guys. We've said it. We've said it a bunch of times, but we really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. Next week, again, we will not have Over the Hump. We'll probably do something else. Over the Hump will return for the 10th episode. And I'll just give you a teaser that episode 11, as planned right now by production, will have a very, very special guest that you will not want to miss. So yes. Episode 11, should be super pog. Yeah. Episode 11 will be legendary. But great Steam Skojo. Can't wait for episode number 10. Thanks, Cinnamon. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Let's go over and say hi to Astral.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Raid Astral Surfer 663. Snuffleupagus. The Poggest. Snuffleupagus. The Poggest. Have a good night, Amy and Skojo. You too, Cinnamon. Waiting for the button to pop up. All right, here we go. Let's go show Astral some love. We'll see you guys later.
Cutscene.
Cutscene. Hang on, let me stop.